So I gotta start this video off by saying I completely messed up. So I saw this article here that was posted by Star.com the same exact time that all the other, training camp articles were posted. So I thought this was about the Scruffle that happened yesterday. Nope, this was actually back in 2021. I have no idea why they put this article where the other training camp articles were. So I was just going through, I saw the Scruffle, I read through this article, and I said, okay, let's make a video and talk about it. But this is actually from last year. So last year, training camp, day one, there was a Scruffle between Joe Mixon and Jermaine Pratt. Not sure, again, why they posted this article at, that, area, but that's on me because I should have read the date. I did not see the date at the time. So with that being said, here's the video. That story was from last year. Did not realize that. Thanks for someone who commented down below and told me. But let's go ahead and get right. Let's get right to the rest of the video. So the Bengals had their first mini Scruffle on the first day of training camp. This is actually not surprising at all. So here's what the Scruffle was. It wasn't like a full-on out brawl or a fight or a crazy thing. Let's go ahead and watch this just to kind of get the full reaction of what happened. It was kind of pushing and shoving a tad bit. It was between Trey Hendrickson and the brand new left tackle Orlando Brown. Now, why did this happen? Is this concerning? Should we be concerned moving forward? Absolutely no. What this is pretty much is everyone is back in football. Everyone's ready to play football again. Everyone is excited about training camp. And listen, at the end of the day, you got to keep in mind, everyone on this field is a competitor. Everyone on this field wants to win. They want to make plays. They want to be, they want to show out how amazing they are for the Bengals. So there's going to be plays that, might raise a little bit up and down. Well, it's not going to turn into a fight, but it might turn into kind of push and shoving, trash talking, right? Especially between offense and defense. And right after this play was when, as it says in this article here, on the play after, Joe Burrow hit T. Higgins for the touchdown over the likes of Nick Scott in the defensive secondary. So after this play was the touchdown to T. Higgins over Nick Scott. Now, obviously, last year in the preseason game before we played the Rams, we did a joint practice with the Rams, and Aaron Donald got in a fight with a couple of our guys. He went absolutely crazy mode, and there was a fight that breaks out. That's going to probably happen this year when we have a joint practice with the Green Bay Packers. It does come down to, well, now that the preseason's here, emotions are running high and low. You got to keep in mind some players might not make the roster. Some players might make the roster. Other players are, just ready for football, and they're going to get a little bit, maybe a little bit more heated when certain plays happen. So, for example, let's say we're doing a joint practice in the preseason with the Packers, and someone gets past one of our offensive linemen. Let's say Jonah Williams lets a guy get past, and they do hit Joe Burrow. That's going to cause a fight, right? That's going to cause an absolute fight. Somebody trips somebody up, maybe by accident, maybe not on purpose. Someone's running past someone, and then there's a trip up, and the guy falls, and maybe he doesn't get hurt, but somebody there thinks it was done on purpose. That's going to cause a fight. So this is why, usually when it comes to these joint practices, you have, an AFC and an NFC team joint practice, because you don't want to do the same conference. That could cause more fights and more problems because, it might be like, hey, we kind of want that guy to get injured because we got to play him in our conference. But nonetheless, though, this is expected at every single training camp, especially day one. Once you get, you got to keep in mind, this whole offseason now, these guys are been waiting for this moment. Yes, they had OTAs, yes, they had mandatory minicamp, but they didn't have the pads on. They didn't have the helmets on. They just had, their shorts on and just regular clothes. So now that they finally are out there, fully committed, fully ready to go, this is going to cause some, some heated tensions, right? So with that being said, this is not surprising at all. Thankfully, we did not have what happened to the Ravens a couple years ago where I think it was Earl Thomas and Chuck Clark, where Earl Thomas like punched Chuck Clark because he ran the wrong route, or sorry, covered the wrong route. That kind of stuff's not going to happen here, okay? We're a little bit more disciplined than that. But, yeah, with that being said, though, listen, Orlando Brown, he's a brand new guy. And that's another thing you got to keep in mind. Some of these newer guys that come into this, stadium or go on the field, even though Orlando Brown's the best left tackle in football, sometimes these old veterans guys like Hendrickson, Hubbard, they might try to push him around a little bit. See where they're at, see where their head is at. See, make sure they're tough enough, right? Because again, keep in mind, this is gonna be this team is a Super Bowl team. This team's gonna go and we're gonna beat the Bills in the playoffs, probably beat the Chiefs, then go to the Super Bowl and beat whoever we beat in the Super Bowl. You have to be tough. You got to be ready. You got to be rigid. It's not about, there's no Weenie Hut Jr. on this football team right now, right? This is the Joe Burrow Bengals. This is the Who Dey Nation. You got to be tough, gritty. It's not for the weak. So, yeah, there's going to be some shoving, some pushing. It's not a big deal. But overall, I thought this was hilarious because once I saw, like, some headlines about a Scruffle, I'm like, oh, okay, well, what's going on here? And I see this, and I'm like, come on now. This is football. This is how football is back. This is how players are ready to play some good football. Is when there's some pushing, some shoving, some trash talking, some name calling. Like, that's just typical football. But tell me down below your thoughts, opinions, guys. I'll see you guys next one.